192.0. Here the octet tree again is the interesting octet. Because of that, 256 minus 192 equal to the 64. Here we have 4 subnet, 192.168.0.0 slash for example 18, and after that the next networks 192.168.64 0/18, then 192.168.128.0/18, and finally 192.168. For example 192, okay, we need to add 64 0/18. Here, as you can see, this IP address 6 is residing in the first range, okay, here. Because of that, this is the subnet ID, okay, 192.168.0.0/18. This is the subnet ID, and we can easily find the broadcast ID. And then the next example, this is the next example, 172.30, for example, .22. Let me to use .22, okay, 172.22.22 for example 77, okay. After that, this is the subnet mask 255.255.255, for example 224. That's it, okay. Let me to write here. Here we have the fourth octet as the interesting octet, 256 minus 224, 224 equal to 32. And here we have these networks 172.22.22.0, okay, slash. Here we are using /27. This is the first network, and the second network is 172.22.22.32, again /27. After that 122.22.22.64 /27. After that 122.22, for example again 22.96 /27. As you can see, okay, as you can see, our IP address 172.22.22.77 are residing in these networks. This is the subnet ID. I think this is the easiest method for you to finding the subnet ID, because when you are finding the subnet ID, you can easily find the for example broadcast address, because the broadcast address has one number less than the next network address. For example, in this example, the broadcast, okay, the broadcast ID, okay, equal to the 172.22.22.95/27. It's so easy, and also you can use this method for faster finding the subnet ID, resident subnet, or for example broadcast ID, and also usable. And you know that all of the addresses between this IP address and this IP address are usable IP addresses in this subnet. Very good. Until now we learned about how we can find subnet ID, broadcast address, and also the useful IP range in this range. But let me to give you as a for example review one mathematical method to finding subnet ID and broadcast address. We don't use this method, but the computers are using this method. For finding the subnet ID, we need to perform a Boolean AND of the IP address and mask. This process converts all host bits to binary 0. Let me to show you. It's not important for this class, but let me to give you one for example brief explanation about this method. Look at here. This is the IP address that we have. Let me to write the Boolean AND. What is the Boolean AND? Okay, here we can write here the Boolean AND for example formula when you are using x and y. Let me to write here x equals 0, y if y equals 0, and we are using the Boolean AND between these two. Okay, the result is 0. Then if x equal to the, for example 0, and then y equal to the 1, the result of Boolean AND between these two value is again 0. After that, when we have x as 1 and also y as 0, the result of Boolean AND between them is 0, and after that when we have x1 and also y1, the result of Boolean AND is 1. Now let me to use this formula here. Look at here, this is our scenario. Perform a Boolean and between of the IP address and the mask. And here, if you have both of these two bits, okay, as 1, this means that we should repeat the 1. Look at here, because 1 with Boolean and with the 1 in here, we have the result of 1. And when you have 0 and in 1 bit 1, this means that again the result is 0. This means that when you are using in subnet mask 1, okay, the result of Boolean and of the IP address and subnet mask is the repeat of the IP address. This means that, for example, for the first octet, because all of the bits are 1, we need to the result of Boolean and between the IP address and the subnet mask equal to the IP address. Again, in octet 2 we have the same condition, and in the octet 3, as you can see, we need to repeat these 2 bits. And for other bits, okay, for other bits, because the subnet mask is 0, the result is 0. This means that we have this value repeated, the octet 1, octet 2, and 2 first bits of the octet 3, and after that we need to convert all of the other bits to the 0. This is the process that computers are using. This process, let me to read again. Perform a Boolean AND of the IP address and mask. This process converts all host bits to binary 0. Okay, and also for finding a broadcast address, computers are using this method, inverting the mask and then perform a Boolean OR, I will talk about that, of the IP address and inverted subnet mask. This process converts all host bits to binary 1s. First, we should know what is the Boolean OR. Let me to write here. This is the Boolean AND. Okay, it's not important for this course. This is only for fun to understanding how computers calculating the subnet ID and broadcast address. This is the OR, Boolean OR. Let me write here. OR. When you have x as 0 and y as 0, the result is 0. When you are using x0 or y1, the result is 1. Okay, after that, when you have x1, y0, the result is 1. And after that, when you have the x1 and y1, the result is 1. Okay, now let me to calculate here. Look at this example. In this example, I'm going to find the, for example, broadcast ID. You know that for broadcast ID, first we should invert the subnet mask. Let me to show you. This is the subnet mask. Okay, this is the IP address. Let me write here. Here, I'm going to convert the IP address or the subnet mask. First, we need to write it here again. After that, this is the inverted subnet mask. Inverted subnet mask. We can write it here. Look at here. This is the subnet mask. For inverted subnet mask, we need to use 80. This is the inverted subnet mask. And after that, again here, we have inverted subnet mask. Okay, and then 20 and other bits are 1. Okay, 61, inverted subnet mask, again 1. That's it. Okay, this is the inverted subnet mask. Now we can easily find the broadcast ID. How? Look at here, invert the mask. We inverted the mask and then perform a Boolean OR of the IP address and inverted mask. Look at here, when you are using Boolean OR, if you have 1 in one of the value, the result is 1. But if you have 0 in both of them, the result is 0. Look at here, let me to show you. Here we have for example 1 0, okay, 0 0 1 0, again 1 0 1 0 1 0. Okay, look at here, let me to calculate them for you. 1 0 equal to the 1, again 0 0 equal to 0, 1 0 equal to 1. Okay, and this means that all of these parts are repeating, okay, until we reach to the 1 1, to the 1 in the subnet mask. In subnet mask, when you have 1, okay, look at here, when in subnet mask we have 1, means one of this value is 1. If you have 0, the address should be changed to the 1. Look at here, this is 1. The IP should be changed to 1. After that, when you have 1 and also in the IP we have 1, again the result is 1. And finally, as you can see, this is the correct Boolean OR between the inverted subnet mask and also IP address. This is the broadcast ID. This is not important for us because this is only occurring in the computers, but it's good to know that computers are using Boolean and Boolean OR for calculating the subnet ID and also broadcast address. Very good. Until now, we learned about the IP addressing and after that subnetting. Also in this video, we learned how we can find the important parts of one IP address. For example, if I give you one IP address, you can find easily the subnet ID part, the resident subnet, for example, the broadcast ID, and also usable IP range in that IP. I showed you how you can, for example, find these 3 parts with 3 methods in binary and 1 method in decimal. You look at here. Let me to review. As you remember, the first method was the binary method, okay? The second method, this is a shortcut, again in binary, and also this is the classful view, again the binary method. But also, we learned about one interesting and one shortcut in the decimal. We learned about the interesting octet. We learned about the magic number, how we can calculate the magic number, and how we can use the magic number to finding easily the important part of one IP address. In all of the scenarios in this course, in almost all of the scenarios in this course and in the other courses, you will learn all of these relations in your mind, in your paper, in your scenario. Because of that, you will be a master about all of these topics. But for now, it's a good time for practicing all of the topics I mentioned before in the topic of IP address subnetting, or some other things about the IP address. Okay, after that, please come with me to the next video. I'm going to talk about the new topic. I'm going to talk about the networks and the rules of the networks and the protocols in the networks. Until now, we learned about one protocol, the IP protocol, and also specifically on the IP addressing. But don't forget, IP has another features, another topics. We will learn about all of them in this course and also future courses of the, for example, CCNP or CCIE.